every club season in Europe is over, and we already know 29 of the 36 clubs that will be participating in next year's Champions League. That's right, 29 of the 36 clubs are already confirmed. Now, there is a small little problem that a lot of football fans from around the world are getting fed up with. And that problem is, if you look at all the qualified clubs for next season's Champions League, most of them come from the top 5 leagues. Starting with the Premier League, we got 6 clubs: Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Spurs, because they won the Europa League. From La Liga in Spain, it's 5 clubs: Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Athletic Club Bilbao, and Villarreal. Going down the list to the Bundesliga, 4 more clubs from Germany: Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, Eintracht Frankfurt, and Borussia Dortmund sneaked in. From Italy in Serie A, it's Napoli, it's Inter Milan, it's Atalanta, and Juventus. Liga in France has 3 clubs and possibly 4. It's PSG, Marseille, and Monaco that have already automatically qualified, and Nice is in the 3rd round of qualification, so they might get in as well. After that, it's 2 clubs from the Netherlands in Ajax and PSV, 1 club from Greece, Olympiacos, 1 club from Czechia, Slavia Prague, 1 club from Portugal in Sporting, Galatasaray from Turkey, and Royal Union Saint-Gilloise from Belgium, because they won the league. But out of the 29 clubs that have already qualified, 22 of them are from the top 5 leagues. There is an extremely valid argument that a club that finishes 4th, let's say, in the Premier League is still way more competitive than a club that wins the league in Romania or in Switzerland. And maybe that is the case. But then there's also the argument that the Champions League just needs more diversity, and only the winners of each league should be qualifying for the Champions League, because it's called the Champions League. If you're not a champion of anything, what are you doing playing Champions League football? So today on the channel, we're gonna answer some very important questions. Will the results still be the same if you only had the winner of each league qualify for the Champions League? Would the winners of the lesser leagues be able to stay competitive, or would the clubs that are representing the top 4 or 5 leagues just run away with it? So this is now our new Champions League that consists of league winners only from a bunch of European countries and a few wild cards. Starting off in pot 1, it is La Liga winners in Barcelona, Premier League winners in Liverpool, the Italian winners in Napoli, the German winners in Bayern Munich, the French winners in PSG, the Portuguese winners in Sporting. We got the Dutch winners PSV, the Turkish Super League winners in Galatasaray, and the Belgian winners in Royal Union Saint-Gilloise. Going to pot 2, and this is where things get a little bit interesting. We got Celtic, the Scottish Premiership winners. We got clubs that we rarely ever see play Champions League football, if ever. I don't even think Rijeka has made it into the group stage matches before. But here they are representing Croatia because they won the league. Olympiacos, the Greek winners. Slavia Praha, the Czechia winners. Slovan Bratislava, the Slovakia winners. Moving forward, the most recent Norwegian champions: Bodo Glimt, Lech Poznan, the winners of Poland, FC Basel, the winners of Switzerland, Červena Zvezda, the winners of Serbia. Pot 3, Karabag, who won in Azerbaijan, Ferencváros, who won in Hungary, Koups, who won in Finland, Shelburne, the most recent winners from Ireland, Paphos, the most recent winners from Cyprus, Dynamo Kiev, the Ukrainian champions, Malmo, the Swedish champions, FCSB, the Romanian champions, Sturm Graz, the Austrian champions, and finally pot 4, where we have Copenhagen, the Danish winners, and 8 wild cards. Now, the wild cards will be some of the league's cup winners, and I thought if you want to give some of the top leagues a little bit more of an advantage in a couple of more extra clubs, those cup winners should come from those leagues. So the Pokal winners in Germany, Stuttgart, they will be in. Aside from PSG, because PSG is already participating, Toulouse are your most recent Coupe de France winners. Bologna won the Coppa Italia, they get in. Barcelona are this year's Copa del Rey winners, but Barcelona is already participating as a league winner, so that means we have to go to the next Copa del Rey winner, and the most recent one, it is Athletic Club Bilbao. Crystal Palace won the FA Cup, so they qualify for the Champions League instead of the Europa League. Royal Union Saint-Gilloise won the Belgian League, but Club Brugge won the Belgian Cup, so they qualify as well. Sporting won the league in Portugal and the Cup, but last year Porto won it, so they get in. And the final one, because it's such a wonderful story, it's gonna be Aberdeen, because they upset Celtic in the Scottish Cup final, so they for sure deserve a spot. All right, my friends, it is time to answer all of those questions. There is the beauty beautiful Champions League trophy, we are going to the end of the group stage matches. What will the outcome be if this is what the Champions League looked like? And if you need some confirmation, this is the full Champions League format with home and away playoff knockout rounds. As legit as it gets. Let's go. We changed the qualification for our Champions League, and the league phase is over, guys. Let's see if we have any surprises. So the top 8 will automatically qualify for the round of 16. We already know that. And who are the top 8 after 8 matches have been played? It is Barcelona. It is Bayern Munich, expected to be up top. Sporting from Portugal is in 3rd, though. And Galatasaray from Turkey, the Turkish Superliga winners, they are in 4th. Olympiacos from Greece, they're in 5th. Napoli is in 6th. The Scottish champions in Celtic are in 7th. And PSG squeaked into 8th. This is already absolutely wild. Who are the playoff teams now? It is PSV, Crvena Zvezda from Serbia, Club Brugge, Ferencvaros. Liverpool doesn't make the top 8. They are in a playoff. Bologna is also in a playoff. Dynamo Kiev, the Ukrainian winners, they're in a playoff. Athletic Club Bilbao, Copa del Rey, that's how they got in. They get into the knockout playoffs as well. Palace, they get in. Porto gets in. Royal Union Saint-Gilloise gets a spot in 20th place. Paphos from Cyprus. Yep. 21st, Aberdeen, the Scottish Cup champions. 22nd, Copenhagen. 23rd, Toulouse. They also sneak in. And who is the last and final club that gets a spot? It is Slavia Praha. Yep, they qualify. Now let's see who got eliminated after the league phase in this new Champions League qualification. Stuttgart, there they go. There goes Karabag. There goes Rijeka from Croatia. FCSB, Basel, Bodo Glimt, Sturm Graz. I thought they would be more competitive. Shelburne, Lech Poznan, also very disappointing. Slovan Bratislava, extremely disappointing. And the last 2 clubs, it is Malmo and it is Koops from Finland. So we got our automatic 8 clubs that will qualify for the round of 16, but now we need to find 8 more clubs that will also get there via the playoffs. And just take a look at these matchups. Who wouldn't want to see a Champions League night between Slavia Praha and PSV, or FC Copenhagen versus Crvena Zvezda? We got Porto versus Club Brugge. We got Aberdeen traveling to Hungary to play Ferencvaros, and then Ferencvaros traveling to Scotland. This is the best one, though. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch Liverpool versus Paphos in a Champions League evening in Cyprus? Or the 2 cup winners in Palace versus Bologna. We got Toulouse versus Dynamo Kiev, and then Royal Union Saint-Gilloise versus Athletic Club Bilbao. I don't know, man. How can anyone not think that these knockout playoff matchups are peak football? Paphos versus Liverpool. Well, let's begin our leg 1. Slavia Praha versus PSV. Who takes leg 1? No one takes leg 1. Copenhagen versus Crvena Zvezda, leg 1. Playoff. Crvena Zvezda leads 1-0. Knockout playoff matchup number 3, leg 1. Porto versus Club Brugge. This is a very, very big one, but it ends 1-1. Prime football, Aberdeen versus Ferencvaros, leg 1. Ferencvaros in the 78th take a 2-1 lead in leg 1. All right, it's Paphos versus Liverpool Champions League leg 1 knockout playoff at the Stelios Kerikides Stadium. Who takes leg 1? Oh, I was hoping it'd be Paphos. Bologna versus Crystal Palace leg 1 at Selhurst Park. Can Crystal Palace take the lead? No, they actually go behind. The most random matchup ever. Toulouse versus Dynamo Kiev. Leg 1, Champions League knockout playoffs. All to play for in leg 2. And the final leg 1 between Royal Union Saint-Gilloise and Athletic Club Bilbao. Can Promise David for Royal Union be the hero? No. Athletic Club Bilbao take a 3-1 lead into leg 2. This is it. Champions League leg 2 knockout fixtures begin to get to the round of 16. Liverpool versus Paphos. Liverpool have a commanding 3-1 aggregate lead, taking it back to Anfield, and they should probably win this, and they do quite comfortably. 6-1 on aggregate. Can Crystal Palace come back in Italy because they're down 2-1 on aggregate, or their Champions League journey is over? They come back. Champions League drama. My friends, this is what we like. Crystal Palace. Mitchell and Nketiah and Tsar 3-1, 4-3 on aggregate. Bologna is stunned at home. Crystal Palace is off to the round of 16. I'm not even a Palace fan, but that's just absolutely incredible. Leg 2 between Dynamo Kiev and Toulouse. It's 2-2 on aggregate. The club that progresses into the round of 16, it is Toulouse, eliminating Dynamo Kiev. We've already seen one comeback by Crystal Palace. Are Royal Union Saint-Gilloise be able to do the same thing? Probably not. I don't think so. They were close. Guys, they were close, but they did fall a little bit short. The better team, Athletic Club Bilbao, progresses. Slavia Praha versus PSV, also 2-2 on aggregate at the PSV Stadion. PSV has the home field advantage in leg 2, but they blow it. Just like Bologna. It's Slavia Praha, guys. Now, this is a very interesting one. It's Cervena Zvezda versus FC Copenhagen, leg 2 for a spot in the round of 16. Red Star, they stole it in Denmark. They're at the Rajko Mitic Stadium for leg 2. They're at home. Don't blow it. They don't blow it. They win it. And now we got a club from Serbia in the round of 16 of the UCL. Porto versus Club Brugge, 1-1. Who takes it down? Who progresses? It is Club Brugge. A Portuguese club falls. A Belgian club continues. All right, can Aberdeen come back on a clear night in Hungary? Aberdeen versus Ferencváros. Ferencváros have a 2-1 aggregate lead. Will it be Ferencváros that progress? It will be Ferencváros that progress, but Aberdeen, I mean, a great performance. Getting this far is very impressive. So this is it. The round of 16 is set, my friends. Peak football. Once again, guys, it's peak football. Ferencváros versus Bayern Munich. Then we got Toulouse versus Celtic. Club Brugge versus Galatasaray, Slavia Praha versus PSG, Cervena Zvezda from Serbia versus Sporting, and because Liverpool got here via the playoffs, they gotta take on Barcelona. Athletic Club Bilbao will go up against Napoli, and then Crystal Palace actually has a pretty decent chance to advance. They gotta take on Olympiacos. I don't know about you, but I'm loving this new format and this new qualification process. Let's go. Leg 1, round of 16 between Ferencváros and Bayern Munich. I mean, what a scoreline. 4-3, somehow going into leg 2. Ferencváros is still alive. Celtic versus Toulouse, leg 1, round of 16. One of them will be in the quarterfinals. I cannot believe it, but that's the case. And Celtic does the business in leg 1. Club Brugge versus Gala, leg 1. Which club takes the lead? It is Gala that take the lead. Can Slavia Praha minimize the damage in leg 1 at home against PSG and maybe pull off something special? No, they go behind. Somehow Cervena Zvezda made it this deep, but now they gotta face Viktor Gyökeres and Sporting. They gotta make it count at home. Can they make it count at home? You know what? That's all right. They're alive as well. And then we got Liverpool versus Barcelona, leg 1. My goodness, it is at Anfield and it's 1-1. Liverpool has some work to do going into leg 2. Also, an extremely tough matchup here. Athletic Club Bilbao versus Napoli, leg 1. Athletic Club Bilbao is at home at San Mamés, but they lose at San Mamés. Oh my, and they might be in trouble. Crystal Palace is also at home in leg 1 against Olympiacos at Selhurst Park. Make it count, Crystal Palace. 1-1 going to Olympiacos back to Greece might be a challenge. The all-important leg 2 fixtures to get to the quarterfinals. 3-3 on aggregate between Sporting and Cervena Zvezda, but Sporting is at home. Can Cervena Zvezda... Well, my friends, you know what? Cervena Zvezda, they took the lead in the 39th, and they were holding on until Gyökeres tied it up in the 84th. It went to extra time, and it went to penalties. Remember, there's no away goal rule, so it was 4-4 on aggregate, and during the penalties, Cervena Zvezda didn't miss a single one, while Sporting missed twice. The wonderful Champions League story of Cervena Zvezda, it continues here. I keep saying it, peak football. 1-1 on aggregate between Barca and Liverpool, but it is not at Anfield. It is in Spain, and Liverpool pull it off. They pull it off. Gakpo, the hero, twice in extra time. He scored twice. Barca is gone in the round of 16. Liverpool is in the last 8. Not too sure if Athletic Club Bilbao can do the same thing as Liverpool. Down 2-0 on aggregate away. No, they tried their best, but Napoli still scored twice. 4-2 on aggregate for the Italian Giants. Will Crystal Palace also cause an upset away in Greece against Olympiacos? I mean, they have to win this game to progress, right? But it is Olympiacos. Olympiacos, they advance. The Greeks are crazy about football, and Olympiacos is in the quarterfinals. I would say probably a disappointing result for Palace here. Imagine this one, 4-3 on aggregate, Bayern versus Ferencvaros, but it is in Germany. No way, right? I swear, I thought Ferencvaros won, but it is Bayern Munich in a wild 6-4 aggregate scoreline. Probably safe to say this one is over. It is back at Celtic Park, and Toulouse is down by 3, and now they're down by 5. 7-2 on aggregate. It's done. This one I would say is not over yet. Even though Club Brugge is down 2-1, they're very capable. They're a very good squad. 1-1. And Galatasaray advance. Slavia Praha versus PSG at Parc des Princes. Imagine the scenes if Slavia Praha can pull this off out of their bag, but they can't. 2-1 for PSG. They kept it close. 5-2 on aggregate. PSG moves on. We started with 36 clubs from a bunch of different leagues, and now we're down to 8. Liverpool's path does not get any easier. They beat Barcelona, and now they gotta beat Napoli. While Crvena Zvezda also kind of ran into a big wall. They gotta play PSG. It will be Galatasaray versus Bayern Munich, and then a very, very interesting matchup between Celtic and Olympiacos. Either Celtic or Olympiacos will be in the semifinals. We start off with leg 1 between Napoli and Liverpool, and Napoli is at home for leg 1, and they get a draw, which definitely favors Liverpool. Will the story of Crvena Zvezda continue? Again, they have to be good at home, and they are at home for leg 1 at the Rajko Mitic Stadium against a big and heavy PSG side, man. Oh my gosh, yeah. I think their journey is done. Gala versus Bayern Munich in Turkey, but unfortunately, as you can see, Gala's got 2 players that are suspended, and that might cause an issue. Oh my gosh, a major issue for Galatasaray going back to Germany. In my eyes, this one is wide open. Celtic or Olympiacos. No idea who would progress here, but leg 1, it's 2-2. And I think here, just like Liverpool, it favors Olympiacos because they're at home in leg 2. A comfortable 3-0 aggregate lead for Bayern Munich in leg 2 against Galatasaray, and I think Bayern Munich is progressing. Galatasaray tried their best, but 6-3 on aggregate for Bayern. Olympiacos was clutch at home against Crystal Palace to get this far, and now they have to be clutch at home once again against Celtic. 3, 2, 1. The club that progresses, they are not clutch at home. Olympiacos is stunned at home. Celtic, welcome to the semifinals of the UCL. What the heck are you guys doing here? Football is alive and well. 2-2 on aggregate. The next quarterfinal, leg 2 between Liverpool and Napoli, and it does favor Liverpool because they are at Anfield, and they are winning at Anfield. 4-2, 6-4 on aggregate. Liverpool, welcome to the semifinals. The last quarterfinal fixture, leg 2 between PSG and Crvena Zvezda. Unfortunately, Crvena Zvezda, they look pretty cooked, guys. Yeah, 3-0 first leg, 3-0 second leg. Very comfortable for PSG. But hey, Red Star, I mean, this was a run of all runs. You have to be proud. I asked you guys in the beginning if the top clubs from the top leagues would dominate. And I'm not 100% convinced because yes, we got Bayern Munich and PSG and Liverpool in these semifinals, but we also have Celtic. And I mean, just look at how many teams didn't get this far that were probably expected to get this far. Maybe Barcelona, maybe Sporting. Stuttgart from Germany couldn't even get through the league phase. So it is Bayern Munich taking on Celtic, a rematch. It's happening once again, and then it is PSG versus Liverpool once again. Just like IRL. Your top goal scorers, Harry Kane leading the way for Bayern, 13 goals in 12 appearances. Bayern versus Celtic, leg 1. Bayern is at home, and Celtic needs to keep it close here because they gotta take it to Celtic Park. They gotta. I was gonna say they gotta take it to Celtic Park, and maybe they can pull something off at home. Well, not only did they keep it close in leg 1, they won leg 1, and look at the stats. Bayern Munich, 63% possession, 7 shots, 6 chances. Celtic barely had the ball. 2 shots, 2 goals. Football is back. PSG versus Liverpool, leg 1 at the Parc des Princes. Liverpool needs a favorable result here. Can they get one? No, they cannot, guys. They lose. Kvicha. Kvicha with a brace, a 2-1 lead for PSG heading to Anfield. One match to decide who our first Champions League finalist is if it was in this new qualification process. 2-1 on aggregate for PSG. It is at Anfield. Liverpool is looking for a win here. 3, 2, 1. A spot is on the line, and oh my goodness, Liverpool came to play. Salah, Gakpo, and Gakpo once again. PSG blew it, and now the question remains, will Celtic blow it? They are at Celtic Park, have a narrow 2-1 aggregate lead on Bayern Munich, but as you can see, no Alistair Johnston, no McGregor. They're both on red cards, so they have to be replaced. This is a match of all matchups for Celtic. 3, 2, 1. Replace the players. I'm done. I'm done. Bayern Munich actually tied it up on aggregate in the 35th minute through Elise. And it was 2-2. And then Bayern Munich actually took the lead in the 69th. 3-2 on aggregate. With only 20 minutes to play, Bernardo scores in the 75th to make it 3-3. It goes into extra time, where Dyson Maeda scores a brace. And Celtic Park goes insane. Now, guys, if you didn't know, Celtic has won a Champions League before, in the 1966-67 season. And here they are trying to lift yet another one, but Liverpool stands in their way. Well, all right, my friends, here we are. Champions League final, Liverpool versus Celtic. We changed the entire qualification format, the entire qualification process, and this is what we got. Somehow we ended up with Liverpool versus Celtic. This might get legendary. Kickoff time, here we go. Get your snacks, get your popcorn. As I always say, this is about to be a movie, my friends. Liverpool obviously in the red, Celtic are in the white and green stripes. Celtic is back in a Champions League final. I believe they went to a Champions League final after they won a Champions League final in the 1966-67 season. They went back to the final a few years later, but they lost it. And since then, they've never been back. So this is quite a historic moment, and I understand it's only FC25, but hey, we live football here. As Celtic is on the attack right away, Engels, he turns it over, and it goes to Szoboszlai in the 11th minute. Player to watch apparently is Dominic Szoboszlai. I would think maybe it's Mo Salah, but apparently not. Robertson making that run down the wing, drops it off to Cody Gakpo. He's been phenomenal this entire campaign for Liverpool, but Schmeichel comes out. Celtic looking good. Celtic looking for an opening goal here. Engels. Trent Alexander-Arnold steps in. Muscled off the ball by Engels. This is officially Trent's last match in a Liverpool jersey. He wants to win the UCL because he'll be at Real Madrid next year. Man, Celtic is actually playing well. They're playing extremely well. Celtic! Dyson! It could have been a historic goal, but he misses the net. He puts it wide. How has Celtic not scored? We're in the 31st minute now. What a matchup. Luis Diaz, Szoboszlai, Salah, back to Szoboszlai, out wide to Trent. No, Szoboszlai, he'll keep it himself. And now he put it at the edge of the box to Gakpo. One touch to Luis Diaz. Great attack here from Liverpool. Gakpo and Diaz connecting. It's a tough finish. It's a tough finish. That's a difficult finish for Luis Diaz. He puts it wide. It stays 0-0. Rio touches it down. Plays a magnificent ball to Dyson Maeda. Overlapping run by Adam Ida. Rio. Engels back to Rio. Edge of the box. McGregor. Allison. Knocked off the feet, but still makes the save. Both teams have had great opportunities as halftime is about to be called. Unless Liverpool score. Oh, they gave it away. Celtic, what are you doing giving it away like that? Off the post. A chance. I don't understand. I guess they called it. Maybe he was offside. Either way, it stays 0-0. Back for another 45 as the ball goes to Rio Hatate. Engels. McGregor. It's as tight as it gets, guys. A foul is being... Could this possibly change the game? What will happen here, guys? What will happen here? Oh my gosh! It will change the game. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty from Gakpo. What were you thinking? Nasty, nasty work. And Cody Gakpo is sent off. That changes everything. And now Celtic are a man up. They're in prime position. Liverpool have a lot of work to do. They are in trouble. They're a man down. 53 minutes. Cody Gakpo What did you do? Did you just cost Liverpool a Champions League trophy? Szoboszlai, Luis Diaz. They still have a lot of game changers here, though. Gravenberch. Inside, Carter Vickers. No! Cody Gakpo did something terrible on one end, and Schmeichel does the unthinkable at the other. We said we're gonna have drama. We said this is gonna be absolutely legendary, and look what just happened. Carter Vickers, great defensive play. Schmeichel just needs to get rid of it, and he can't. What? 1-0 Liverpool. 59th minute, Luis Diaz gives Liverpool the lead in the most ridiculous way ever. Dyson Maeda can't get through Konate. McAllister out wide, it goes to Salah. I'm genuinely shocked. Szoboszlai to Trent, who's now trekking forward. 65 minutes. Salah. Celtic are in panic mode. Celtic are in trouble. Schmeichel tries to keep it competitive, tries to keep it at 1-0, redeeming himself for his mistake. This would be heartbreak for Celtic, man. Absolute heartbreak. Celtic on the attack, in the box. Konate gets it out. Gravenberch out as well. McGregor keeps it in play. Engels, he keeps it. Reo Hatate from distance. Adam Ida, also from distance. Allison spreads himself wide, makes the save. A terrible moment in Celtic football history. Angles, unless they can possibly, maybe, Adam Ida, yes, yes! Schmeichel is repaid by his teammates, and Celtic lives on. Celtic stays alive. What a match. 83rd minute, Adam Ida, he equalizes for Celtic. If they lost that way, in that fashion, just would have been atrocious. And you know what? This match deserves extra time. It's been that good. Liverpool kicks off. First half of extra time is upon us. Liverpool is still down by one. A man, not by a goal. Down a man. Endo has come on for Gravenberch. Fresh legs in the midfield for Liverpool. McCowan has come on for McGregor. Liverpool going forward through Trent. Overlapping run. Salah on the ball. Into the box it goes. Scales gets it out. It's going to be a corner for Liverpool. In the box from Robertson. Out. Not out far enough. Kuhn. Now it's out. But Liverpool will retain possession through Van Dijk, who heads it right back. Luis Diaz. Diaz. Robertson. Liverpool is pressing. Endo. Back to Schmeichel. And now he kicks it away. Finally, learning from his mistakes. There goes the first half. It's 15 more or it's penalties. Bernardo. He's also come on here. Elliott has come on for Szoboszlai. And Bernardo has come on for Engels. McCowan. Back to Kuhn. Celtic on the attack. Looking for that match winner. Bernardo. Edge of the box. McCowan. Rio Hatate. He's surrounded. He's got no options. And there goes Mo Salah. Drops it. One touch to McAllister. One touch to Trent. Back to Mo Salah. Salah using his space, using his speed. Great ball into the box. Hatate gets it out. Maybe one chance for either club would do it here. Celtic is playing great football. Bernardo. We're in stoppage time. I think we're going to go to penalties, my friends. We are going to penalties in this Champions League finale. It is McAllister versus Schmeichel first. It bounces in off of Schmeichel. 1-0 Liverpool. Allison, 1-1. Salah versus Schmeichel. Salah, no mistake. 2-1 Liverpool. Adam can equalize here. Will he? Yes, he will. Luis Diaz. Schmeichel needs a save. He makes one! And now Alistair. Dyson Maeda. He beats Allison. 3-2 Celtic. Elliott needs to score. Okay. 3-3. Hatate versus Allison. It's 4-3 Celtic. If Schmeichel makes the save on Trent Alexander-Arnold, Celtic win the Champions League. Yes! Kasper Schmeichel! He made a big mistake, but he redeems himself in the penalty shootout against the player that is leaving Liverpool in Trent Alexander-Arnold. Can you believe the scene? Celtic is back, and once again, Celtic will lift this Champions League trophy for the first time in a very, very long time. and only for the second time ever. Celtic, Celtic, Celtic. They are your Champions League winners. Today, I think we answered a lot of questions because Celtic won the UCL. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Always keep smiling. And I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any other cool ideas that you want to see on the channel, please comment them down below. Peace, 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 peace. Celtic UCL winners.